Hello, my name is Amanda and we are here from the Watering Can. We are going to be doing a demonstration of how to cut your Christmas greens. So for all our projects, big and small, we like to use measurements in centimeters. So we have a lovely tape measure that we put on our table here. If you don't have one at home, nice easy way to do that is just take a piece of masking tape, lay it on your table, and just put the markings on it, or use a piece of cardboard. These instructions will be very helpful for all of our DIY kits or take-home Christmas projects. You can find these on the Watering Can website, thewateringcan.ca. Just shop under Workshop Kits. Remember, for all of your Christmas projects, a sharp pair of clippers and maybe a pair of gloves just to keep that sap off your hands. So today we have a whole selection of greens in front of us. Now in your projects you may not be using all of these, but we're just going to show them, help you with a little bit of green identification at the same time. So one of your main greens obviously is your cedar. We're going to use that in pretty much every project that we have. When you use them, especially in your urns, you're going to be using larger pieces, so probably around the 40 centimeters, but each project will have its own measurement. Take the measurement that you're given. For instance, if we're going to use 40 centimeters, you're going to lay the tip of your greens on your 40 centimeter measure. Follow the stem back to your 0 mark. Don't lop through all of your greens, just cut the main branch. A little bit of an angle is always helpful. That way, you have a nice clean stem that will go into your oasis. Once you've taken that first branch, you can just set that one aside and you can cut multiple branches from this first branch. So we're going to, again, bring that new branch. You can see our cut there. We're going to bring that branch back, lay it again on the 40 centimeters, and again find our 0 mark at the edge of the table and give that a cut. You can keep going until your whole branch is used up. For this instance here, you kind of come it to a nub. It's always nice to have a clean, straight stem, so I'm just going to cut this one a wee smidge shorter. There we are. And a fresh cut on this bottom because we want every piece to have the ability to drink water and get fresh greens. And now we have a whole bunch of pieces that we can just insert into our oasis and start our project out with. All right. So if we are doing smaller projects that don't require those long lengths, you're going to do it exactly the same way. You're going to choose the length that you are looking to cut and then just cut at your 0 mark. If you are careful, you can hide those little cuts. Nobody will ever notice that because your greens are all going to be kind of cuddled up into your arrangement, and those tips where you've just cut will never be visible. So you can just work your way down a branch the same way you did with your larger cuts, but with your smaller cuts. And this works for pretty much all of your greens. Another one of our favorite greens here is our silver fir. You can use either the silver side, which will give you beautiful contrast, or you can go ahead and use the green side. For this demonstration, we're just going to show the silver side. Again, when you cut your measurements here, if we're going to do 30 for instance, we're going to take our branch, follow it back. This one especially is a little bit more of a puzzle. Make sure that you're cutting with those nice straight stems. If you have a whole bunch of branches coming off here, it's going to be very difficult to get that into your oasis. You can also go ahead and clean off the additional needles off the bottom just to make it a little bit easier, especially if you're short on oasis space, just to clean that stem. It also allows a little bit more water to be absorbed through the branch. Next up is our pine. So this one here, this one's the real sticky one. You want to wear gloves for this one if you want to keep your hands clean. A lot of times we use a variety of lengths, so won't necessarily have a specific length for these ones, but you always want to cut with a nice straight stem. So if I start at the top and follow my branch down, I'm going to cut just above this little side shoot here to hide that little cut. And then again, work my way from the top down. And just continue on your whole way down your branch. Remember the last one, don't forget to give him a cut too. And now we have a variety of pieces that we can use and fill in our urn with. This green here is called Carolina. It makes a very nice whimsical touch to your urns, gives it a little bit of grace. When you have big pieces like this, you're going to want to cut them a little bit smaller. Just make sure that you're always wiggling in between your branches, not cutting through all these lovely greens. That way you hide your little cut, and you have 2 shorter pieces. Don't forget to cut the bottom. This green here gives a lovely coppery color. It is called Magnolia. This one here always needs a fresh cut no matter what you're doing. Urns, you're probably going to keep the full length and just give it that tiny little cut on the bottom. For smaller projects, you'll want to use just sections of 1 or 2 leaves perhaps, in which case you're just going to pull back the leaves, count 1 or 2 leaves, and then cut above the last one so that you have a nice little bit of stem showing. And then you can just work your way down your branch like that, cutting little sections of leaflets with the tiny little nub of stem so that you can get it into your oasis foam. This green here is called Blueberry Cedar. It's got a gorgeous soft texture of greenery and then the occasional few little bits of berries inside as well. This works well as a nice little filler, a little bit of texture. Again, you're just going to separate your greens, wiggle your clippers in there, and cut little pieces out. Sometimes you may need to take a piece or 2 off the bottom just to remove and expose that stem for easy access to your oasis. And then work your way down your stem with whatever length you are looking to get. So we've got some nice pieces there. We use 2 varieties of boxwood, our regular green boxwood here and our variegated boxwood. You can use your clippers for this, or you can simply take your piece and break it. It does break very easily as it's a woody stem. And there you have it. Nice little boxwood pieces. Or if you're looking for a little bit more color, your variegated boxwoods. And those can just be added to your urn. Remove the leaves if they're in the way on the bottom of your stem. And one final green. This one's a lot for texture and a little bit of pizzazz in your urn. This is our eucalyptus. We have it in gray and burgundy. It also comes in other fun colors, but for the most part, gray and burgundy are our Christmas colors. So nice little pieces for your urns, probably around 30 centimeters. Gorgeous leaves and berries for nice texture for your urn. So for whatever Christmas project you're doing, whether you're doing one of our kits at home or just a personal project, remember, have lots of fun and enjoy the Christmas greens.